Episode 380. How
Woo!
you feeling?
Feeling excellent.
Great.
Feeling really good. Feeling in the holiday spirits.
Good.
Feeling
I know
ready.
it's a tough time, though, for a lot of people. A lot of
It
people
is.
Get sad.
Oh, my gosh. That was exactly something that I wanted to talk about this episode.
Yeah.
And it all started when Susie, have you seen? So, a while back we talked about the Miss Monopoly game where we were like, oh, my God, what is this? Well,
Yes.
I've got a new game.
Thing to be mad at.
Yes. Old game, recently redone.
Who is doing this?
You're going to just die over this one.
Tell me.
Suze, the game Uno has been revamped for the holidays and is now advertised as nonpartisan Uno. No red or blue cards means no taking sides.
What the fuck?
This is on the box. I'm
doesn't
reading
even
to you
make
what the box
sense.
says. The box also has politics with like the big no sign, almost like the no smoking
Yeah.
thing. And it says that the classic red and blue cards were replaced with more politically neutral colors of orange and purple.
That's stupid.
And they believe that, and also they've added a veto card in there where the new veto card skips that player's turn and makes them change the subject.
What the fuck? Who's talking during Uno?
And how many games of Uno, when you see things that are red and blue, all of a sudden you become politically charged? That's not how it works. And also this is all in line with talking about the holidays that are red and green. So I know that it's not red and blue, but still it's we're going to just get rid of a color and all of a sudden people are going to not engage in politically
now we
charged
have world
conversation.
peace.
Right. I'm like, this is ridiculous. Why are we
When's the
trying to
last
make
time-
political statements in board games?
Well, that's the thing. When has Uno ever been political?
Correct. And any game that says ages 5 and up, come on. You're playing with Lincoln.
That's insane.
You think Lincoln's oh, God, here I am looking at that red card, just thinking, oh, God, those Republicans.
Do you think that this is just a gimmick and this is just to get people talking about Uno?
Maybe. It might be. That might be the case. It says it can be found at Walmart stores for $5.99.
Oh, my God. This makes me want to do a numero dos because that is so stupid.
Yep. I was listening to them talk about this on Wait, Don't Tell Me, and they were saying all of this talk about politics, and yet we're still playing a game called Uno, where it's
Right.
what do you think the Republicans are feeling about how we're just
Right. It's not even an American game.
right? It's so silly. Oh my God, I do love Uno though.
Well, it's a bit early for me to say this, but I think that it's timely all the same.
Mm-hmm.
If you are going to play a game, you should play Best Fiends.
I love it.
Sarah loves
Oh
this
my
game,
God,
as
I
do
love
I.
it so much.
Of all the things we talk about in the show, I would say this has been the thing people have tweeted at me the most
Oh,
about.
same.
They get addicted.
They're like, oh my
they
God,
just
you guys
love
were
it.
right. Yeah, because it is really fun.
Because it is so fun. They just want to keep getting up on the levels and seeing all the cute characters. It's challenging and fun. There's puzzles. It's just really cute, and people seem to be really enjoying it. And it's a nice break from the craziness of this time of year and, work and buying stuff and whatever. You just need a downtime moment. Best Fiends is a great option. And they keep updating the game monthly with new levels and events and stuff, so it never gets old. People don't get bored. And you can engage your brain with fun puzzles and collect tons of cute characters. Trust me, with over 100 million downloads, this 5-star rated mobile puzzle game is a must-play. Download Best Fiends free on the Apple App Store or Google Play. That's friends without the R. Best Fiends.
Yes.
Go.
Yes. We're
I
playing games big at your holiday gatherings when you were growing up.
Yeah, I loved that.
What
That
were
was
your
the best.
favorites?
Like Pictionary.
Oh God, I love that. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then, of course, I was telling you to bring Scattergories to my house. Because,
Yep.
And Taboo.
Got it.
How
Oh, do I have
fun.
Taboo? I think I do. Oh, you think you do? Yeah. You do. I've definitely seen that at your house. Yeah.
What did you play?
We were big on charades.
Oh.
It was pretty much the only time that people in my family didn't talk is when they were performing and like you weren't allowed to. So
I get really irritated during charades at the people that like just scream out the obvious stuff like sounds like.
Oh, yeah. Sounds like
you?
Right.
First word.
That's so
First
funny.
word.
That's like might be me who does that. It probably
but
is me.
I get it because that is the game, but it's just like, okay,
I get
we
so
know.
excited, right? I can't. Oh man! But the games are like what always what I look forward to most. But I feel like most people, this is a very busy time for therapists. The holidays.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that
because everybody's like all of the family stuff kind of comes out, and everybody's like, this time of year is so difficult. And I really do blame holiday stress and like expectations really of what the holidays should be like. And we all know about that. Yeah,
I think that when you're a kid and the holidays are quite fun, at least they were for me.
Yes.
That you don't realize they probably weren't that fun for the adults.
Uh-huh.
And so then when you become an adult and they kind of suck, you think your life sucks or you're a failure. But really, you're just growing up.
Oh, God.
What do you think? Is that false or true?
No, I think you might be right. I mean, this sounds like way off topic, but I swear it's related. But the other day I was talking about earthquakes and how I'm like, oh my gosh, yeah. In a weird way, I love earthquakes. And my explanation for why was because I was in the Northridge, I was about 6 or whatever when the Northridge earthquake hit. And when it did, I didn't have to go to school for a week.
Right.
So my experience as a 6-year-old or 8-year-old, however old I was woke up in the middle of the night, real exciting, shaking house. Like that was like, woo, what's going on here? Never seen this. And at the time I was watching a lot of X-Files and I had no frame of reference for an earthquake. But I did know that when the house shook and the lights flickered, according to the X-Files, aliens were here. And so when that happened, I was like, aliens are here! And I was convinced it was like an alien attack. So that was already exciting. And then, my dad pulls me out of bed. I go downstairs. We all go outside and the earthquake's over, blah, blah, blah. And then we have no gas and no electricity for 3 or 4 days. And everybody's food in the refrigerator is going bad. So my entire neighborhood, and everybody was off work and everything, we threw a block party. We had brought all the barbecues out, cooked all the food. I had a next door neighbor that was a musician, and he brought out his wireless amps and generators or whatever, and he played music, and we just had a big party. So in my mind, earthquake equals block party, no school, super fun. Now, if I were an adult who had to call the gas company, deal with all the insurance stuff, blah, 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 I'd be like, fuck earthquakes. This is awful. So I think it's kind of like that, where you're just enjoying. It's the same kind of thing, right?
Totally.
Yeah,
yes.
See, I told you it was related. So,
yeah,
I think that's kind of what's going on here. And then as you just get older, the realities and expectations, your expectation is of how it was when you were a kid. And things well, and also as you grow up, you have a few more opportunities for kind of some unhappy memories maybe too.
True. Yeah, and you think it's supposed to be like those Hallmark movies, and then it's not.
Yes.
It's a bummer, man.
But there's a lot of scholarly articles out there on, this has been heavily researched on, stress and coping in families and, holiday stressors and things like that. And it's even WebMD has a whole thing about, tips to avoid holiday stress and anxiety. Because, this is, a real... what do you do around the holidays to kind of, do you feel like it's a real stressful time for you when you're,
For me, it is not, but I get why it is for a lot of people. I really enjoy the whole process and even the shopping and thinking of gifts and stuff like that. So it doesn't feel like drudgery, but I think for a lot of people, it can be very overwhelming. And also just sad. You just feel like your life is... Because people reflect, I think. And they look back on the year and they think, did I make anything of myself or whatever? And that's what gets people down. But I'm sad all year.
Oh, get out.
I am. Or anxious or whatever. So it's no different in December.
So this... professor at Harvard University Medical School named Duckworth, that's his last name, I don't know what his first name is, but he says that during holidays, a lot of childhood memories come back, and you may find yourself dwelling on what was inadequate about your childhood and what was missing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I was getting down on myself recently because I was thinking about stuff that I'm resentful about from my past. And I thought, I am 40 years old. I really should have wrapped this up by now. Mm-hmm. But I decided that was not fair because as you have more experiences and you have more frame of reference for stuff, you're never going to be done with reflecting on the events of your life because you have new information that's happening all the time.
Absolutely.
So I'm letting myself continue to reflect and whatever.
I'm glad you say that because also, so there's phrase that we use in therapy called going home. And what happens when somebody goes and returns to their like family of origin or even like the same environment, how often we are brought right back to the same emotional maturity level that we were when we were a child in those places. So when you're thinking and you're kind of like recalling those memories, to kind of be aware of how old are you when you're thinking about this? When you're recalling all these memories, are you processing this from the point of view of 17-year-old you who may be, I don't know, may have less awareness, or you're maybe looking at things still through that kind of like lens or translating them through, you know, your I don't know, the way you think about things when you're 17? Or are you really looking at it with your adult, like, you know, more executive functioning, more like, you know, better perspective, all this? And it's something that we have to really be aware about and be like conscious of and, you know, put in the effort to go, who's talking right now? And when we ask ourselves that question, most of the time it's the little kid. Because it'll be tied to a specific memory.
Yeah.
And you'll be like, oh, I was like, you know, 7 when this happened. Am I reacting kind of like a 7-year-old right now? And we do that. And when you can bring in that awareness, you realize and you like process the same memory. You're like, wait, I don't care about this. This doesn't really matter. Or like, I get it now. You know, my relative was dealing with their own shit.
Yeah, that's helpful.
You know, or like my parents reacted like this because they didn't have the tools and, you know, they were just trying to survive. And, you know, maybe that holiday was really stressful for them because they were going through financial hardships and they were just trying to make the holidays nice for us kids and whatever, you know.
Yeah.
Like I say to everybody, you've got to kind of zoom out on life and be like, what else is contributing to this? And that's almost impossible to do when we're thinking from that like kid point of view still.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm just allowing myself to continue to reflect, and I will try that trick though and think about who's thinking this thought.
Yeah, who's speaking right now? It's so important. There was something else they said in this article that it said one of the other things that makes people kind of sad on or adds to that holiday stress is that it's the monotonous and sameness of family holidays that depresses them. The same faces, the same jokes, the same food on the same china plates.
Really? I like that.
I do too. It's like the opposite for me. I'm like, that's the thing. Oh, yeah. Speaking of which, when we have our holidays together, how would I bring over some of that china and do your table settings for it?
You bring whatever you want, Sarah.
I'll do that.
That sounds festive. I'll
do your table settings. I'd like to.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And when you come over, make sure you're wearing your Fabletics.
Oh, okay. Well, my stretchy pants so I can eat all that holiday food and not feel bad about it, or at least feel comfortable.
I actually saw Katie Lee. She's on the Food Network, and she was talking about how that's the one thing that she tells people you should dress up for the holidays, but she doesn't do it. She's like, I wear stretchy pants. I want to be able to eat.
Yes.
And Fabletics is great for that. They are really cute loungewear, activewear, and it's affordable. They have adorable sets that are great for yoga or running or whatever you need, bras, accessories. They have you covered. And they're super affordable but high quality. And so you're not going to pay an arm and a leg, and you're still going to get your nice athleisure or workout clothes. And they wanted to give you guys a deal, and I recommend those pants I always wear.
I wore them yesterday. I love them.
They're so great. And a lot of the clothes have pockets too, which is so nice for your phone or whatever you have carrying with you. You can get 2 leggings for only $24. It's a $99 value when you sign up for the VIP program. Be sure to check out our favorite leggings, which are those pants that I told you about with the zips, and get them while they're in stock. And their designs change monthly, so make sure you check that out. Go to fabletics.com/braincandy to take advantage of the deal. That's fabletics.com/braincandy to get 2 pair of leggings for only $24 at fabletics.com/braincandy. There's no commitment to purchase monthly, and you get free shipping on all orders over $49. And fabletics.com/braincandy is the ticket.
Yes. All right. So I'm going to totally change gears here with something that I've been meaning to talk to you about for a little while, and I can't believe we haven't talked about it. Okay. Did you see, I'm sure you have, South Dakota's new campaign for anti-drugs? Oh, my
God, yes.
Meth. We're on it. What is happening? Who thought that was a good idea?
I wonder, though, if that was intentional.
Oh, what? To get everybody, like...
Yeah, to be, like, I don't know, provocative or... I don't know.
I don't think so.
You think it was an accident?
It's real tough. I mean, we're all talking about it, but I don't know if it's...
Was the campaign to raise awareness about addiction or what?
Yeah, it's to address the state's methamphetamine crisis. It says that the state has twice as many 12 to 17-year-olds who reported using meth compared with the national average.
Oh, my God. Why are they doing so much meth up there?
Apparently, there's not a lot to do in South Dakota besides meth.
Stop.
Well, I mean, you'd think they're all, like, naturey and outdoorsy and, like, all cowboys and stuff. The ads are so weird. There's, like, one of the pictures is, like, an old guy. Like, he's probably, like, 80-something, leaning against a fence. He kind of looks like the Marlboro cowboy,
yeah.
And it says, like, meth, I'm on it. It's just, what? And it's a $500,000 campaign.
It kind of makes me real happy.
And then there's, like, a picture of, like, a high school football team. Same thing.
They're on it, too.
Meth, we're on it. Yeah, we know. That's what, like, it just looks like all these people are like...
On meth.
Hi, my name is Joe, and I'm a meth addict. Hi, Joe. Like,
what were they thinking?
Well, this is real funny you say that because it says Beth Egan, an associate professor for advertising at Syracuse University, this is an article in the Washington Post, had similar concerns about the ad. Her first reaction, she said, was, what were they thinking?
Wait, is that a joke?
No, that's what she said.
Oh.
That's her
Yeah.
exact. It says then she continued. She said, one of the things that struck me, obviously, is everyone gets the play on words. They're trying a twist. But what they're missing is that advertisers no longer have control of the conversation. You need to be mindful of how consumers are going to take it and run with it on their own.
So that implies that it was intentional, that they were being like a play on words, but they thought we would all just appreciate it.
Yeah. I don't know.
We don't.
They called it a bold, innovative effort like the nation has never seen before. Well, yeah, that's true.
I wonder what the bullet points of their plan are, though. How are they on it?
How are they on it? Like, are you doing anything to stop? Because right now, like, meth, we're on it. Like, I don't know. Meth, we're stopping it. Like, what's the next plan?
This is a stupid question, but is meth an opioid?
Oh, my God, no. I think it falls into the stimulant category because it's a methamphetamine. It's an amphetamine. So, yeah, it's a stimulant.
You know what's crazy? I read this article about why are Americans in so much physical pain? Because we do take a lot of opioids, even for real pain, not just the people that are addicted.
Yeah.
And the article was saying obesity was one of the reasons that our bodies are taxed under the weight of our own self. One thing I learned though was it said opioids increase the perception of pain rather than dull it. I don't get that.
Opioids increase? Well, maybe it's one of those things where if you alter the pain receptors, they may make them more sensitized when they don't have the pain medication, like that. Or it's also, maybe it could be like a kind of like our own mind. What's like, almost not like a placebo effect, but like, what is it? Like where you're priming the brain to like think that it's in pain because you desire the opioids. Yeah. Do you feel like you have a low pain tolerance or a high pain tolerance?
Low.
Me too.
You do?
Oh wait, no, high. I have a high one. You have a low pain tolerance.
Yeah, I'm very sensitive.
Okay.
Yeah.
No,
But you've always said that you have a high pain tolerance.
Yeah. And I don't know, like when I was growing up, we never, I mean, obviously not meth, but we never took anything for any sort, and no opioids or anything. But like my mom's cure, like when we got sick, we never took like Sudafed or like that kind of stuff that's like,
what did you take?
Here's a little sip of brandy and bite into this whole onion.
Oh, right.
They were
Your
like
mom was like
the old wives'
grandma
tales
on Beverly Hillbillies.
Yes. She's like, here's the cure for this. Chew on this little piece of something like bark that I got out in the woods and like throw back this like boozy beverage and like eat two cloves of garlic and you'll be cured. And
Did it work?
I gotta say, I mean, knock on wood, I never get sick.
Okay, maybe that's a secret.
And I think it's because like, my mom was like, no hand sanitizer, no nothing. I was just like playing in the dirt and biting my nails and just got exposed to everything. And then like when I was sick, it was like, let your immune system work it out. That's fine.
Except for meth, she's on it.
I can say with almost 100% certainty, my mom has never been on meth. So.
I'll tell you what, I'm reading Graham Nash's autobiography. It's really good. And I admittedly, yesterday I said to Adam, I'm reading this Graham, from Crosby, Stills and Nash, Graham Nash. I was like, I'm reading this rock and roll autobiography, and I'm telling you what, I don't see the downside to cocaine at this point.
Well, I do know my mom was doing that during the 80s.
Was she?
Oh my gosh! Please, because I don't think people really knew. I mean, my mom was like well into the.
I think they knew.
Did they though? Like, I feel like it was like more of like we're talking. My mom worked in like music videos in the film industry in the 80s and was doing Kiss music videos and Aerosmith music videos.
Yeah,
there's no
I
way
think that
she wasn't enjoying the booger sugar. Well, my mom's definitely going to be angry tweeting at me. It's like, I'm not. She's going to be like, Sarah!
Well, she's in good company because Graham Nash was doing it, and it sounds great. Like, they would do below before they'd go on stage. And, I mean, if you can perform at that level, I am impressed.
No, that sounds like the last thing I want is something that's going to keep me up all night and make me talk more. I don't need any of that shit. I am
that's true.
No, just roll me a joint and we're good to go.
Yeah, and just say no, you guys. I'm just joking about this cocaine thing. I would never, but I'm just saying, like, they make it sound real enticing.
Yeah, well, anybody who's addicted to drugs kind of does that sometimes.
True.
I bet these people on meth also. Oh, God, that's the worst one. Don't ever do any of that, people.
Have you ever smoked meth?
No, we've already been. We've been. Please,
I know, but it's funny to me every time.
Every time, I'm like, no, Susie. I am so terrified. I told you once I pretended to do shrooms. Oh my God, you know what's so funny? My mom is calling right now. Decline.
Oh my God.
It's like she psychically knew I was calling her out on here.
She probably did.
Oh my
when you
God.
call her back, ask her why she called, and if she was like, I don't know.
She's going to be so mad about this. I'm going to tell you, once we went on a family, and probably a few times, we would go on these family trips to Yosemite during the summer with our family friends, and it was like our parents, like people that my dad was in a fraternity with. So they're like college buddies. And now they're all like grown up with kids and everything. And we used to go inner tubing down the Yosemite River, or whatever that river is in Yosemite. I can't remember. We learned as adults that our parents were taking shrooms and floating down the river high on mushrooms as they're supposed to be watching children. They're like, we just did a little. I'm like,
a little.
I don't care. We were in inner
They're
tubes.
microdosing.
Yes. But they were like, whatever. This was the 80s. I'm like, Mom, that was the 90s, the 2000s. Whatever.
Right. Oh, God. Your mom's a real character.
Made me feel like so much more of a responsible, like child sitter and just like adult in general. I'm like, oh, look at me not doing, drugs as I'm watching children. She's going to be so mad.
That your mom helped you choose was all of your Everlane clothes.
Yes, she did. Oh, and she has good taste, let me tell you.
Right. That's why she was working on all those music videos and stuff.
Yes.
And she knows what we know, which is that Everlane makes premium essentials using the finest materials without traditional markups. I just bought another turtleneck, as you guys know how I feel about turtlenecks. Yes. Because they are perfect. Get the ribbed one. That is the ticket.
Oh, okay. Because
they are so cute. It's fitted and it's flattering and it looks really classy with everything you wear. So get that. They're transparent about pricing. They have perfect, classic items that you can bolster your entire wardrobe with. Versatile, simple, stylish. And right now you can check out our personalized collection at everlane.com/braincandy. Plus you get free shipping on your first order. That's everlane.com/braincandy, everlane.com/braincandy.
Yes. Ah, fun.
Fun.
Okay, so other thing that I've been meaning to talk to you about for a long time, and this is like a term that I feel like I keep hearing it around, and I didn't really know what it was, and I just kind of want like Susie to explain to Sarah everything.
What if I don't know it?
You do. So the term cancel culture.
Yeah,
that's like a big thing that's going around right now.
Yes.
And
you're not familiar?
No, not really. But now that I've heard it referenced in a few of these articles I've read, I just read an article yesterday or whenever it was on how they're canceling the Victoria's Secret fashion show.
Yeah.
And how people are like, this is all kind of part of the cancel culture thing. And I'm like, what?
I don't put that at all in the category.
Me neither. So what is cancel culture like explain that to me.
Cancel culture is when usually a celebrity or someone that's well known does something that's unsavory, be it racism or beat up their wife or whatever. Yeah. And then we're like, you're canceled. We're never going to consume whatever products you make or movies you create.
Okay, that makes more sense. Yeah, why are they using that in the maybe it's like we're pushing back on what Victoria's Secret runway show is.
Well, a lot of the people that hate cancel culture are people who also would say that we've become too politically correct. And so they're probably arguing that the Victoria's Secret runway show, it got canceled just because it's anti-feminist.
Yeah.
But that's not why it got canceled. Victoria's Secret is in big trouble financially because they are refusing to accommodate, a variety of sizes. Yeah. And they are kind of shitty about lower income people or bigger people. Yeah. And it's crappy.
Yeah, it is.
And so they're just not selling very many items, and so they had to cancel their runway show.
Oh, okay. The article also argued that it was because Instagram models are more recognizable now, and the idea of these runway models is kind of falling by the wayside. We're like, we don't really care about them as much anymore. And then somebody else made the argument that it is because porn is so much more easily accessible, and why would we all be gathered around or even the swimsuit edition, the Sports Illustrated swimsuit edition or Victoria's Secret catalogs or whatever, they're not being hidden under 13-year-olds' beds anymore. Yeah. And so they're we don't need to have this.
Yeah, I think those things are contributing to the fact that the runway show isn't what it used to be, which was titillating and scandalous and provocative. Now it's ladies, two skinny, big-boobed ladies in underwear.
Yeah, underwear that we can't afford, and who the hell is going to, like, I don't need some angel wings. Like, it's so weird.
And they make a really good point, like the lingerie addict that we follow.
Oh, yeah, love her.
Cora Harrington.
Yeah.
She talks about how, Victoria's Secret did not roll with the times, and they kept that same business model of, like, basically wearing things that your husband would like rather than celebrating
my God,
women.
You are so right.
Yeah.
The things that are so uncomfortable.
Now we're just shitting on Victoria's
Yeah, I'm
Secret.
fine with that. I no joke. There's a picture that I took, months ago, Susie. I took this photo of a pair of underwear that I saw on Victoria's Secret's website, and I'm going to definitely send you this photo and post it when this airs, because I saved the photo specifically so I can show you and be like, what the fuck are these?
What are they?
They're underwear that... It's like the butt's exposed, and they're just two straps that are holding it up. It just doesn't make any sense. And then I even went to this. I was like, I got to try these on. What a joke.
You did not.
Oh, my God. Like, the biggest joke I've ever. I was like, this is ridiculous. These don't look cute at all. It just is like, it makes no sense.
That's really funny.
Yeah, so...
I love that you were open to it, and then we're like, absolutely not.
Absolutely. Oh, right, yeah. Like, this is stupid. Some of them I'm for, but then I was like, where's the normal? Like, it just seems like, what the heck? I don't know. You're totally right with it's like stuff for your husband, not for...
Yeah, not for women. And, like, I understand why people push back about cancel culture, because it is growing and becoming, like, a bit much, where we're canceling people, like, just for making an honest mistake, right. And then they apologize, and you feel like, I don't think they should be canceled because they fucked up. But then people like Louis C.K. would be an example of someone who has been canceled, but then... they come back eventually. So I don't even think the canceling really works. They all come back.
So I also heard this, so a little bit ago, I think it was, what concert was it? It was at Tyler, the Creator concert. And Drake, so Tyler, the Creator, he is an artist, and he has this concert, and they're like hinting the whole time at this like special guest who's going to come on, and everybody thinks it's Frank Ocean, and people are super excited about being Frank Ocean. It's Frank Ocean, blah, 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 blah. Well, then the concert happens, and it's not Frank Ocean that's the guest, it's Drake. And Drake gets booed off stage. Drake.
Oh, why? Why don't people like him?
Well, they do, but apparently it's like everybody was expecting Frank Ocean and then didn't get him. And it's like, to me, exactly, I had the same response to you. Why? People don't like it? Like, what the heck? And to hear an entire crowd who's there to see Tyler, the Creator, that's kind of like, it feels like, okay, you'd like him, you probably like Drake too. Like, why are you disappointed to see one of the best names in music? And so, like, all these articles are coming out on how, like, this rash of booing incidents at concerts reveal that fan culture is getting more toxic.
I would agree with that.
And I think there's something to this. And then, so that was kind of linked to also this, like, cancel culture thing, too. How, like, It didn't take long before, like, one person, a group in the crowd starts booing, and then everybody else starts booing. And next thing you know, we're booing off one of the top recording artists, like, of this...
Yeah, it's just like a mob mentality.
A mob mentality thing. And it's kind of terrifying.
Yes, I can see that.
And
because it does feel out of control when you're in a situation like that.
Absolutely. Just like a whole crowd, everybody, it kind of freaks me out. Yeah. I don't know why.
People kind of like lump everybody into the same category. Like, let's say, I don't know, Gwen Stefani had the Harajuku girls or whatever they called them. And people are wanting her to apologize for appropriating Asian culture. So maybe they would cancel her. But then Bill Cosby's like raping a bunch of women and isn't sorry about it. Right. And he would get canceled too. And it sort of is all in the same category rather than...
Correct.
Treating each thing with the appropriate level of outrage.
Yeah. I want to cancel T.I.
Oh my God, he is so canceled.
Canceled. And
he's not even fixing it.
I know. Did you see the Red Table talk?
Yes.
You watched it?
I saw clips.
Oh, can you give me give me highlights from that? Because I'd like to.
Like, on one hand, he's backpedaling and saying, like, I didn't realize how serious this was. And, I mean, I was being playful and I was, like, exaggerating and stuff. Mm-hmm. But on the other hand, he said, like, part of the double standard is if she gets pregnant, our whole house changes. But if my son impregnates a girl, that doesn't affect my household. And I'm like,
it kind of should.
You.
Yeah. That's your problem.
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean doesn't
really
affect your household?
Me.
Because I don't think that that's true at all.
And what do you mean it doesn't affect your household?
Right. I don't like it.
I was so grossed out by that. And that's his effort to fix it.
Yeah. So I saw another Instagram. I saw a woman on Instagram who was wanted to call out Will Smith in that, because if you see the beginning of that, I don't know if it was actually on the show or if this was like a behind the scenes clip that I saw, but it was them walking to, like, so T.I., like, I don't know, comes to the set, or it's at their house. I don't know how they shoot it, but they go to, like, prep to go sit down, and, like, Will Smith is there, and T.I.'s like, oh, are you going to join us? And Will Smith's like, no, I'm staying. Like, oh, yeah, I'm staying out of this. This is all you, or whatever. And the woman online was like, this is the problem, that, like, the men are going like, oh, I don't want to be involved in this, when really we need to engage men in this conversation. And maybe it would be great for T.I. to have another man there to kind of, I don't know, push back or get, like, it just seems like.
I can see that.
And so the woman was like, you're not doing the right thing, Will Smith, and this is, like, the problem, that we need men to be, you know, responding in the right way to this too, and not kind of put it on, you know, all the women. And I think this is, like, something that happens with, you know, I'm part of a board that is looking at, like, sexual assault in Hollywood, and one of the things that I hear from a lot of women in this group who are survivors, they'll say, like, a lot of the ideas are like, we need self-defense classes and we need to teach women this and blah, blah, blah. It's all focusing on what the women can do. And I'm trying so hard to push back and be like, we need to engage men. This isn't just a woman's thing. And our actions should not be, hey, let's learn how to protect ourselves. Shouldn't it be like, hey, maybe people should stop raping women?
Yeah, let's prevent it rather than...
Yeah, and it feels like we're focusing on the wrong thing, and I feel like this all kind of falls into that same category, and I'm just like, ugh, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
Because it's
I
like,
see that.
We're not, I don't know.
We're not getting it at the source.
Yes, we're just, like, dealing with, like, the symptoms and, like, how to, like, just kind of, like, survive it, not eradicate it.
Well, one way you can survive the holidays is by going with Stamps.com instead of having to go to the post office.
Yes.
Because who wants to go to the post office? Nobody.
Absolutely
you can print
no one.
out postage from your desk or your house, wherever you are, put it on any size package or envelope and any class of mail, anywhere you want to send it, and then you just hand it to your mail carrier, put it in your mailbox. It's that simple. And you get 5 cents off every first class stamp and 40% off priority mail up to. And you're saving money and time. Come on. It's that time of year. It's the perfect time to do it. Don't spend a minute of your holiday season at the post office this year. Sign up for Stamps.com instead. There's no risk. With our promo code BRAINCANDY, you get a special offer that includes a 4-week trial plus free postage and a digital scale. No long-term commitments or contracts. Go to Stamps.com, click on the microphone at the top of the homepage, and type in Brain Candy. That's Stamps.com. Enter Brain Candy, Stamps.com. Never go to the post office again. There you go.
Okie dokie. So, yes, all of that's depressing and blah, blah, blah. But I have a amazing badass bitch of the week story.
Okay.
Which we haven't heard in a long time, I feel like.
Oh, wait. I bet I already know.
Suze, first of all, let me just show you, like, the video is amazing, and I'm going to 100% make you watch all of this. But I'll just show you the picture of this woman who's so badass, 82-year-old woman named Willie Murphy, getting ready for bed on a Thursday night when a man begins pounding on her door, telling her to call an ambulance. Totally fake. Wasn't hurt at all. Then he becomes angry, kicks through the door, and she's like, alone, dark, in her house. She's 82. Guess what? She beat the shit out of him. And she's so cute. She was like, it's kind of semi-dark. I'm alone and I'm old, but guess what? I'm tough. And she says this as she flexes. Oh my God, this woman is ripped. She's 82 years old. She is a bodybuilder, award-winning bodybuilder, who says she works out at her local YMCA every day. Shout out to the YMCA. I love it. And she totally took this guy down. She took the table and started smashing him with the table. Yeah. I mean, it is so great.
She dumped shampoo on his head.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
And she beat him with a broom until cops arrived.
It's so great. And he was, oh my gosh. I mean, if she says she can deadlift 225 pounds, but she struggled to drag the man out of the house.
Well, I saw this on Twitter today. The AP was tweeting about it. And they, the title was like 82-year-old female bodybuilder kicks a burglar's ass or whatever. And then I just replied beneath it, female bodybuilder, also known as bodybuilder.
Yes.
Why are they calling it a fucking female bodybuilder?
I mean, maybe it wouldn't have been as exciting of a headline. It was just bodybuilder beats up.
There's a picture, though.
I mean, there is.
And she's 82.
It's great. Oh, my gosh. And I just love that he has to get carted off in an ambulance before he goes to jail.
That is so great.
It's the best.
Good for her.
Good for her is right. And, don't sleep on anybody, because it was real funny to hear. I heard the owner of her gym was talking, and he was like, I outweigh her by about 100 pounds, and I wouldn't want to go toe-to-toe with her. She is real tough. And it's just
so impressive
great.
When these folks are that age and they are still so active.
Yes.
And what do you think motivates her? She just loves it?
Yeah, maybe she just didn't ever stop. And weightlifting is really good to keep your, bones healthy and, bone density and fight osteoporosis and all this really good stuff. So she's just
kicking burglars' ass.
And kicking burglars' asses. Mm-hmm. And
so
there
great.
was a woman who was at my rock climbing gym years ago, and I would see her climbing all the time, and like lead climbing, where she's setting all the stuff herself and with all the ropes, and just real professional, well into her 70s. And it was just so awesome to see her there all the time and just crushing it. I'm like, man, that keeps you young. That's really cool. Yep. But a similar story to the unexpected people attacking back. When I was I was young. I was a kid, and my good friend Morgan is a Junior Olympics black belt in karate. And she does not like to talk about this. She's she used to hate when I would we'd be 13 and or maybe 15 and going and hanging out with boys. And I'd be like, hey, guess what? My friend, she could totally kick your ass. She's a black belt in karate and she's won Junior Olympics. And she was so freaking good and never wanted to talk about it. And she worked out at this dojo where there was another woman who was probably she was young, 18, 19, 20, something like that. But she's in a parking lot, and a man comes up to her and tries to, attack her. And, I don't know what he was going to do, rape her, kidnap her, who the hell knows. This little, tiny 18, 19-year-old girl beat the living daylights out of him to the point where he was they said that he was peeing blood and had to go instantly to the hospital, was so beat up they could not take him he had to go to the hospital ASAP before he could be arrested. And people were looked at who was doing who it was that kicked his ass. And no, it was shocking that this girl was the one who beat him up.
That is so
and
good.
It was because she did karate and she worked out at this dojo and she was really knew her stuff and took all the self-defense classes. And here I am just saying it's not self-defense classes we need, but if you take them and you're going to get attacked, well, it does work sometimes.
That's great, because I kind of felt those sorts of, martial arts were antiquated because so many people, have guns and everything that it just felt really, what are you going to... what are you going to do? But that's so encouraging that it can still be effective and make him pee blood.
I know. That was such a great story. They like afterwards, because like they were telling us at the dojo, because I would like go there and hang out and like, you know, go to the like my white belt classes and yeah, for real. I was like, I just want to be cool
adorable.
too. Yeah, and I was like, I love the uniform. And they were telling us, they were like, yeah, he was peeing blood for a while. Like she busted up his kidneys or something like that, because they like teach you where to kick and how to kick, and she like did it with just the right amount of force to where this guy was like, oh, who knows?
Why does your friend not like to talk about it though?
You know, I think I talked to her like a little bit about it when she was, you know, an adult, and we were both a little older, and she said that she felt like it kind of like made her seem more masculine, and like and then also she said whenever boys that age knew, they always wanted to be like, oh yeah, you want to fight me? And they would like challenge her about it. And then it turned into a thing. Yeah. And she, like, I didn't even see that at that time. I was just like, oh my God, let me brag about how cool my friend is and everything. But she was like, I hated having to like then prove myself, or like they would always like say something stupid afterwards, or like all of a sudden I wouldn't be put in the same category as like the other girls. Now I'm Morgan, the fighter, or the, you know.
Yeah.
And she didn't like that. And I'm like, oh my God, but you're like a gold medalist. Like, please.
She
like,
really has a gold medal from the Junior Olympics.
Real.
That's amazing.
Amazing, right? And you'd never guess with Morgan, huh?
No.
Yep. She can kick somebody's ass. She was so good. God.
That's so exciting. I love it.
She still has amazing legs from it, too.
No.
For real. Like, the woman has, like, insane legs. And she said it's because she spent 6 years in a squat.
Right.
Like, in a low position, like, ready to fight. Like,
wow.
I know. Real
And then
cool.
she quit?
Yeah, I think it was like it was tired of all, like, the bullshit that she got from, like, the guys about it. I really do think that was it. I'll have to ask her about it now.
They should make a movie about it, called, like, Karate Lady.
They did make a Karate Kid with a girl, just so you know.
Yeah, but she's an adult now.
That's true. Oh, that's funny. Did you see that Karate Kid, that one? With the girl?
I saw the one with Jaden Smith.
Oh, yeah.
That was good.
Yeah, I like him.
Do you?
Oh, so much.
Oh, yeah, you do.
His music now, so good. I was just listening to it the other day.
There
it
is
is
no
really
way.
good. No, it's really good, Susie. I know. This is so funny because I was totally telling Ren this too about how you push back. I'm like, come on, Jaden, and how I've already had this conversation, and now here we're doing it all over again. And I'm like, no, he's really good, and I have to like defend Jaden Smith all the time.
I don't think we talked about him. We talked about his food truck, and I was annoyed about that.
Annoyed. I'm like, oh my God, Susie's always annoyed by Jaden Smith.
He's weird, and I don't like the weird, crappy tweets. I'm like, quit trying to seem deep.
I think he is deep. I think he's really talented.
All right.
And like a real artist in so many ways, like visual. Like I love his stuff. I'm really into it.
What is with you?
I don't know. I think maybe you just haven't really like, I don't know, exposed yourself to the true. You know.
I just hate how their whole family is in that weird, like, they're not Scientologists, but they might as well be kind of thing.
Yeah. Are they not anymore? They used to be.
They never officially
were.
They just ran in those circles. And you can tell.
Yeah, you can.
Because they espouse all of that sort of positive thinking crap.
Crap, she says. Meanwhile, that's like my favorite stuff. Oh my gosh, it's so true. But
different things speak to different people.
That's true, but I like them. So yes,
that's
my story. Yes. Oh my gosh. I'll end with one little one that's like not the happiest, but just an interesting one, especially since we talked about dogs and how wonderful they were in the last episode.
Okay.
This man died from multiple organ failure after getting licked by his dog.
No.
Did you see this?
No.
Oh, so this healthy guy, 63-year-old man, died from septic shock because he was licked by his pet dog. And this is like a brand new case study. They've never seen this ever before. And he had an infection that usually you would get from being bitten And it would only kill people with a compromised immune system, or if they had, oddly, if they had their spleen surgically removed, like, then you would be, like, more
susceptible.
I don't know. Yes. And people didn't notice any sort of bleeding. People didn't notice anything. He must have had, like, a cut where the dog licked him, and they didn't, like, figure out what this was. It was, like, 16 days, and he was dead.
No.
Yes. Isn't that crazy?
Sucks.
The doctors, like, administered antibiotics that covered, like, a whole bunch of infections, but they couldn't figure out what the heck this was. And it wasn't until, like, the day 4 that they realized that he was infected by a bacteria that was found in the mouths of cats and dogs. And then he was given a whole bunch of antibiotics for it, and it didn't matter. He died 16 days later.
Gosh.
Right.
I mean, I will say that is one of my least favorite things about dogs is that incessant licking.
And Bo does it so much.
She's a licker.
She's a licker. I have to tell her to stop. I'm like, Bo, that's enough. But it is so cute.
Listen to this craziness. Yeah. Sorry to interrupt.
No, yeah.
What that story reminded me of in the film that I mentioned in the last episode, the Generation Wealth.
Yes.
They had this porn star on who made a name for herself by being bukkakied by 58 guys. They came on her face.
God.
And she got salmonella.
No! Salmonella?
Right.
I'm dying. Suze! How did you not say this in the last episode?
I don't know.
I'm dying.
The movie had a lot of shocking parts in it, and that was one of them. And I was like,
well, I even thought it was funny when you were listing the characters in the movie, and you were like, men who are billionaires, porn stars. But I was like, whoa.
Yes.
One of these things is not like the other. Maybe more like the others than you think. Yeah. Interesting. 58 dudes. That seems like...
yeah, apparently one of them had salmonella, and then... got that semen right in her eye or whatever.
Oh, my God. I mean, what else can you get from that? Pink eye?
I'm sure a lot of... Yeah, I'm sure.
That's really gross.
I'm surprised she didn't get more stuff.
You think they were able to identify which man it was?
No,
of course not.
No. Can you believe it?
They're like, we need to test all of your prior sex partners for salmonella. Oh, you mean all 58 of them? Yeah, sure. I can't.
Yeah, so I guess we shouldn't let dogs lick us or bukkake gangbangs.
Oh my God. That's gross. But also,
and on that note,
important information to round out the end of the episode. Who says you don't learn anything here?
'Tis the season. We should add some jingle bells right now.
Bukkake does sound seasonal.
Right?
It kind of does. Like,
we need a song.
Bring out your Christmas bukkake.
Sounds like one of those Jell-O salads that people used to make in the 70s.
Oh my God, I can't believe that word has been said so many times in this episode. I can't. That's hilarious.
On that note, leave us a 5-star review and tell us how great we are.
Yay. All right,
we
friends.
Love you.
We'll see you next time. Bye.
This podcast is brought to you by Wave Podcast Network. Check out all of our shows, including the Brain Candy Podcast, I Don't Get It, Coffee Convos, and Let's Talk About It.